I'm doing my presentation on Northern Pike. So Northern Pike are a long, slender, laterally compressed fish with a long, slender, compressed snout and very sharp teeth. They live to be about 10 to 30 years of age, but on average, the fish you catch are about 7 to 15 years of age. They look very similar to muskies, another fish in their family, but Northern Pike have these small yellow or white bean-shaped dots across their body with a rounded, more rounded caudal fin. They are the only species in the Esox genus that have a circumpolar distribution. So we can see here they're found all over the northern part of the world. In Canada, they're found in almost everywhere except for the western side of British Columbia, and in the States they're found in 32 of the countries, kind of concentrating around the Great Lakes here. They're found in virtually every European country and are a very popular game fish there. They're found in all of Russia and also western parts of Asia. Northern pike prefer sluggish streams and shallow weedy places, as well as cold, clear, rocky waters. They're very often found at the bottom because that's where it's coolest in the lake. Underwater vegetation is a crucial part of their environment throughout the entirety of their life. Eggs are spawned in this environment and fry stay here for protection and a good food source. And then as adults, they also use the vegetation in order to cover themselves while they hunt. They use an ambush technique, which I will talk about next. They have quite well-developed eyes, so this allows them to sit in the weedy vegetation and wait until they see movement. And here we can see they have quite a wide range of sight, as well as being able to like move in that range in order to catch them. And their very sharp teeth help with the high success rate of this species. So they can also use, in addition to their good eyesight, they also have a developed lateral line, so they can detect small pressure changes within the water column. This would indicate like an injured fish or a prey species nearby that they could potentially go after. And it helps them to like know where this prey is because of the pressure changes. They will eat almost anything they come into contact with. So fish, crayfish, frogs, mice, waterfowl. It's not just smaller fish. They also exhibit characteristics of cannibalism. So adult pike will eat a juvenile pike. They are highly territorial and in some areas are considered to be a nuisance because they eat large numbers of other game fish, such as trout, bass, and perch. They're quite a large, or they can get up to be quite a large fish. On average, they range from 50 to 75 centimeters in length. Males can get up to 100 centimeters and females can get up to 150 centimeters. And they average about 10 to 20 pounds, but the max weight ever recorded was 63 pounds. And here we have a little bit of a logarithmic growth for their weight with a 95% confidence interval. And here we have a von Bert diagram, and their L infinity was calculated to be about 50 centimeters, which correlates with that average of 52 centimeters or 75 centimeters on average in length. They're a very popular fish to pursue because of their size. It puts up quite a fight when you catch it. So recreational fishers have a lot of fun trying to reel this fish in. There are many methods. They can be fished in the winter or the summer, but the main method is just a hook and line, different forms of a hook and line. They're also been known to have been spear fished. Spin fishing, for example, is a method of hook and line that uses this kind of a lure as bait, which all of these little fenestrations, I'm not sure that's the right word, but all this little excess in the back creates disturbance in the water and then appeals to that lateral line factor that they have going on, where they can detect pressure changes within the water. You can also use lures that are similar to the silhouette of their prey species, so you can try and trick them into being caught. Knowing their life cycle is also very important because it will alter where you fish it. So like when they're spawning, you want to fish closer to the shore rather than out in the open water because that's where they'll most likely be. And their population, so Northern Pike lay a insanely large number of eggs, so they have good recruitment rates. However, these two graphs, this one is the number of pike reported over 12 kilograms, and this is the maximum weight of individual pike. So we can see there have been less amounts of larger fish being caught, and then their weight is also starting to decline. So northern pike are slowly starting to get smaller because we have overfished the big species or individuals. This is the max weight per year, average weight per year, and the mean number of pike per fisher. And we can see that these are all declining as well, except for this middle guy here. The average weight seems to be leveling off a little bit, but in general, we can see that the fish that we're catching are quite a bit smaller than historic records. So some mitigation. Environmental restoration is very important. Knowing when or at what point in their life cycle which habitats are used is crucial. And restoring underwater vegetation is a big factor in their restoration. Some places also have catch limits, and some have no regulations at all. Minnesota has a bag limit of 3 fish with only one species being over 30 centimeters. And then, so this is to try and redistribute the size scale of the fish. So we're not just fishing all of the large species, but we're trying to put pressure on some of the smaller ones so we can kind of redistribute the size scale. But yeah, other than that, there hasn't been much effort to try to put any regulations on this species because their recruitment rate is so high that this population is not in danger, thankfully. But yeah, that's everything on northern pike. Thank you.